Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I thought it would be a nice idea to show you my most recent finished pages. There aren't very many, but for the people that don't follow me on my Instagram, it would be nice to see which ones that I've finished finally, and I thought it would also be nice to show my current WIPs. One is a bit older than the others, but we will see when we dive in. So I'm going to start with the finished pages first. So the first one that I did finally, after quite some time not coloring very active, was one in the Storybook Darlings coloring book by Kelly Horton, and I've chosen to do Robin, and this is how she turned out. I did a video on while I was coloring in her hair, and this is the final result. I'm going to lift it a bit up and into the daylight a bit so that you can see all the shimmer and glitter on the moon and the stickle details. I'm going to refocus so that she's looking nice. I really fancy her glittery gloves, and she also has some panties with some glitter. I really adore giving them glittery details. My coloring book girls and fairies and witches and you name it, everything does have to have stickles or another shimmery thing above them. For the background and the bushes and the sand, I've just used Inktense, so it's quite basic color, but I really like the style for this particular image. The trees are also Inktense, but I went with a bit of pencils on top, and yeah, I'm very pleased with the result. I really like the lighter area here around the moon and how the highlights in her hair and the hoodie was done. Yeah, it was a really fun picture. This book doesn't have the thickest paper. It's like the Hannah Lynn books, but I really enjoy working on these books or in these books on this paper. I even used my Pablos and Polychromos on this one. There isn't a marker base, as you can see on the back, and really the result was so nice, and I was very happy with how she turned out. So finishing up her inspired me to start another picture quite soon after that one was finished, and I've chosen for Clara Markova. I think I've started this one in January at the beginning of the month. And since I didn't color anything Christmas themed, I wanted to do one with a bit of winter scenery and a little touch of Christmas. So I've chosen this one with the 3 owls, and I really like how it turned out. And I couldn't resist giving her some Christmas colors with the green and the red. And I'm going to lift this up as well because I've used some, oops, I'm sorry for the bumps. I have to look out for my tripod and other things that are in the way. I've used some glossy accents on the eyes, on some jewelry, of course a lot of stickles on the Christmas ball here, on her coat, on the gifts, here on this little sack is glossy accents and stickles. So I really enjoyed working on this page. It was so fun. I adore Clara's artwork, and yeah, I've enjoyed every minute. The base of the birds are done with Inktense, and I've shaded them a little bit with the Holbein pencils. The background is also Inktense, I believe. even the berries have a base of Inktense, but the orange shading is also Holbein. Not sure about the rest anymore. I can't remember quite well. I also think I've used my Pablo's, if I'm not mistaken, for her clothing and her skirt. And the Holbeins for this sack, the combo of colors for this sack as well. So it was really a pleasure to work on this one. Super proud of the result. Yeah, planning to do a lot more in the Clara books this year. Let's hope I can accomplish things that I have in mind, but I'm still taking my time. If I don't feel like coloring, I won't, because otherwise I wouldn't love my hobby anymore. I just would see it as a chore, and that's not what it's supposed to be. And then we are going over to the whips. So I told you not a lot of pictures to be shown, but I thought it was pleasant for the people that are only on YouTube to give them an update on the finished pages I've done. And now I have to show my whip that I did work on at the end of last year. It was in the new coloring book by Maria Trolle. And I only have to do her shirt and the little branches here. And I've used some metallic paint, a bit of stickles on her face as an extra fairy accent. And I really like the shimmery leaves. It's very basically colored. I mean, very pale and a bit of pastel-like. And it's a soft color. That's what I was looking for. So I really love it. But I think her dress or blouse is putting me off. Maybe I will leave it white and do only the branches. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, definitely loving this book, loving this paper, loving the art style. Maria Trollen is also one of my favorite artists. So I really must dive into this one and call it finished, because why not? But you know how it goes sometimes. So very happy with this one as well. So it's not that it's putting me off, but yeah, it's just lying there and or laying there, and I'm not touching it, but I will finish it. Then as a recent started to whip in the latest book by Clara. I already did one in here, but I didn't like it as much. This is also posted on Instagram. No, not a big fan of my color choices, and that has put me a bit off. I have worked in this one in October and November, so I only started the second page quite recently, and I did start quite bad, I think. Because I started with this kitty, and I've used the color soft pencils, and I had a bit of trouble with layering on this paper. Normally I can work very well with the color softs. I love them in the Hannah Lynn books, but on this paper it was a bit of trouble. So I've switched over to the Prismacolor pencils for this little witch, and for the bee and the mouse. And as the next thing that I will do is do the background, because otherwise I can't determine which other colors that I will be using. So I always have to base my background first. But yeah, that kitty was calling me and the witch was calling me, so I thought I will do them first. But now I think do the background. So I'm thinking about, because I've used purple on her, I'm thinking about an orange background for this picture. So we will see how that goes. She already has a bit of stickles on her. I'm going to put the book like this. A bit of stickles on her head and on her blouse a bit. And he has a stickly lollipop, and I will put some glossy accent on his cap because I want something shiny. And this is Mrs. or Mr. B and a little mouse. So quite a lot to do on this page, but step by step I'm really enjoying it, and once the background will be done, I get a little more less stressed out, because then I can see the other colors better. Maybe it's a weird explanation, but that's how my coloring brain works. So okay, and then the last picture that I'm currently working on is in the Gnomes in the Neighborhood by Denise Klett. I was inspired to start another picture in this book by Coloring F. She did a ballerina recently, and I thought, oh, I have to grab that book again as well. So I did. And the background was with Supracolor soft pencils, if I'm not mistaken. The tree is Inktense with shading of Holbein pencils. Those little green things is Holbein, and the little gnome is also in Holbein. I really like how they react to this paper, and he already has glossy accents on his shoes, a bit of stickers on his head. I'm really liking the slow progression and how it's building up. So even with a lot to do, I'm really enjoying this one. Normally I get nervous with a lot of these things and hanging stuff, but once those will be done, it's only the gnomes left, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to working a bit further on this page. So, and that was it. Those were the projects that I'm slowly working on, enjoying very much, and that's the most important thing. Very proud of the ones that I finished, very happy with them. Thankful for all the lovely materials that I can use. Thankful for gifted books. Yeah, I have wonderful friends, and I'm just so happy to still be active in the coloring community, although it's a lot less than before. But yeah, believe me, my love for coloring will never die. It can slow down a bit, but my heart's still beating for my coloring. So, okay, I'm going to say goodbye for now. I will be back soon with another video. I'm planning to highlight some of my favorite artists and to show everything that I've colored in their books. So that's an idea that was in my mind, and I think I'm going to start filming those soon. So I want to thank you very much for watching. Take care, and we'll talk soon. Bye!